bought or leased a new car during the early 2000s, you could be due hundreds of dollars. Tonight, ABC 15 investigator Joe Ducey tells us about a settlement involving most every car dealer.
These legends don't break down. They break the rules of time. Forget the flashy ads. Forget overpriced new models. These cars, built decades ago, are still quietly running circles around today's fragile machines. Under $5,000, they're more than bargains. They're proof that real engineering never dies. Which names made the cut? Why did engineers overbuild them in the first place? And how many miles can they still give you? Stick with me, because by the end, you'll know exactly which car could outlast everything else in your driveway. Honda Accord. Imagine walking down a neighborhood street and seeing a modest mid-sized sedan sitting quietly in a driveway. Its paint perhaps faded a little from the sun, its seats worn from decades of use. At first glance, it looks like an ordinary car, nothing that would stop traffic or make anyone snap a photograph. Yet beneath that humble exterior rests one of the most reliable powertrains ever placed into a mainstream automobile. The Honda Accord, produced between the years 1994 and 1997, powered by the F22 four-cylinder engine. This car is not about flashy style or loud presence. It is about a steady rhythm of reliability that has made it a legend among people who value longevity over glitz. The F22 engine was a 2.2-liter inline four-cylinder that embodied the very best of Honda engineering during the 1990s. Built with balanced shafts for smoother operation, solid metallurgy in its block and head, and a simple overhead camshaft design, this power unit consistently demonstrated that durability could coexist with fuel efficiency. The Accord models from this era often sailed far past 200,000 miles with nothing more than consistent oil changes and scheduled timing belt services. Enthusiasts have recorded examples climbing beyond 400,000 miles while still running smoothly enough to be daily driven without hesitation. When a machine can survive that long without requiring complete overhauls, it moves from being merely a vehicle to becoming a dependable companion in life. Historically, these Accords arrived at a moment when Honda had already proven itself with the Civic, but needed to strengthen its standing in the mid-size market segment against competitors such as the Toyota Camry and the Nissan Maxima. Rather than focusing on bold designs or risky experiments, Honda doubled down on thoughtful ergonomics, logical control layouts, comfortable seating, and engines that could be trusted for the long haul. Owners across North America, Asia, and Europe began realizing that the Accord offered them not just transportation, but peace of mind. Stories circulated of families passing a 1995 Accord from parent to teenager, then to younger siblings, with each generation of driver relying on the same resilient machine. The emotional appeal of the Accord is powerful. Many drivers remember their first real taste of freedom behind the wheel of one of these cars. Because they were affordable when new and even more accessible on the used market, countless students, young professionals, and families experienced road trips, late-night drives, and commutes in a mid-90s Accord. These vehicles became woven into personal histories, and their ongoing presence on the roads today acts like a reminder of simpler, sturdier times. Unlike modern vehicles packed with touchscreens and delicate sensors, the Accord's buttons click with tactile certainty. Its engine bay allows room for a weekend mechanic to change spark plugs without frustration, and its suspension feels balanced between comfort and agility. In today's world, where buyers often face inflated prices for used vehicles, spotting a well-maintained Accord from 1994 through 1997, priced under $5,000, can feel like discovering treasure. Service parts are inexpensive, junkyards still carry panels and trim, and independent mechanics understand the platform intimately. That combination means ownership costs remain low while reliability remains high. Now, as we leave behind the unpretentious charm of Honda's reliable workhorse, we step upward into an entirely different realm, one where luxury and longevity intertwine. The next entry on our list takes us from the sensible family sedan into the world of Japanese engineering that challenged Europe's finest. Prepare yourself for a car that proved comfort and durability could coexist in stunning harmony. Mercedes-Benz W123 Diesel. Not every legend wears a crown of glamour. Some legends earn their place through relentless perseverance. The Mercedes-Benz W123 Diesel, produced between the years 1977 and 1985, is one such machine. Ask any longtime mechanic, taxi driver, or global traveler, and they will tell you that this Mercedes-Benz is not simply a car. It is a benchmark of durability that redefined what people believed possible. inseparable from an automobile. Even decades after production ended, the W123 continues to roll across continents with confidence. At the heart of this vehicle was the Mercedes-Benz 300D, powered by the OM617 inline 5-cylinder diesel engine. This 3.0-liter marvel was a product of obsessive German engineering, built with a cast-iron block, overbuilt internals, and mechanical fuel injection that demanded attention to maintenance, but rewarded owners with extraordinary longevity. The naturally aspirated version offered steady endurance, while later turbocharged models provided extra power without compromising strength. Either way, this was an engine designed to thrive under pressure. What makes the OM617 legendary is not just theoretical engineering, but real-world performance. Taxi fleets from Europe to Africa, from the Middle East to North America, drove these vehicles far beyond 200,000 miles, as if it were routine. Documented stories describe cars reaching 500,000 miles, 750,000 miles, and even surpassing 1 million miles without a complete rebuild. Mercedes-Benz itself honored owners who crossed those astonishing thresholds, proudly demonstrating that the W123 was not merely transportation, but a true million-mile machine. The design of the W123 reflected Mercedes-Benz's philosophy of building vehicles to outlast their owners. The upright grille and squared-off fenders projected authority, while the solid chrome bumpers offered real protection. Inside, the cabin was created with an emphasis on permanence. Switches clicked with mechanical precision, fabrics resisted wear, and the dashboard seemed immune to cracking even after years of sun exposure. Drivers often describe the sensation of piloting a W123 as though the car were carved from solid steel. Culturally, the W123 became a global phenomenon. In Europe, it was the family sedan that safely carried generations. In North America, it appealed to professionals who wanted quiet luxury without ostentation. In Africa and the Middle East, it earned near mythical status as a car that could cross deserts, endure punishing heat, and still return home reliably. Few automobiles earned respect on so many continents, across so many climates, for so many decades. Financially, the surprise is how accessible they remain. Even today, well-kept examples of the Mercedes-Benz 300D can be purchased for under $5,000. Considering their build quality, available parts, and thriving enthusiast communities, the value is extraordinary. It is not simply buying a car, it is buying an heirloom of engineering. And now, leaving behind the indestructible diesel legend of Mercedes-Benz, our countdown takes us back to Japan, where another manufacturer created a sport utility vehicle so rugged that entire industries trusted it with their survival. Toyota Camry? Across driveways and parking lots in towns and cities all over America, one car became almost invisible precisely because it was so common. That car is the Toyota Camry, built between the years 2000 and 2002 with the 4-cylinder engine. What makes this generation stand out is not flashy design, cutting-edge technology, or performance thrills, but the fact that it remains one of the most enduring, practical, and quietly legendary family sedans ever created. To this day, people who bought these Camrys new at the turn of the millennium still drive them daily, often with odometers reading numbers that newer vehicles rarely approach. The power behind this dependability comes from the 2.2-liter inline 4-cylinder engine, known within Toyota engineering circles as the 5SFE. It was designed for simplicity, balance, and low maintenance costs. With a cast-iron block, aluminum head, and a reputation for tolerating neglect better than most engines, the 4-cylinder Camry became a hero for families who wanted peace of mind. While competitors introduced more complex engines with variable valve systems and experimental electronics, Toyota stayed true to the philosophy of creating a car that would endure 2 decades or more with just routine service. Historically, this model arrived at a pivotal moment. The late 1990s had already proven the Camry nameplate as a household word, and Toyota wanted to cement its dominance in the early 2000s. The styling leaned conservative but clean, with wide headlights and soft curves that gave it a timeless appearance. Inside, the cabin offered comfort and space, making it the preferred choice for countless families, commuters, and retirees. It was the car of graduations, family vacations, grocery store runs, and work commutes. The Toyota Camry was not glamorous, but it represented trust, and trust is often worth more than flash. Performance was not about horsepower or speed, but about confidence. The 4-cylinder Camry cruised on highways with smoothness, delivered excellent fuel economy for its size, and required little more than oil changes, timing belt replacements, and brake services to keep going strong. Owners frequently reported surpassing 200,000 miles without needing major repairs, and examples climbing toward 300 or even 400,000 miles are far from rare. This sort of real-world proof turned the Camry into the poster child for automotive dependability. Emotionally, the Camry carries weight because of its role in family history. Many people remember learning to drive on one, while others recall their parents relying on it for safe road trips. It might not provoke passion like a sports car, but it carries nostalgia rooted in trust and security. The Camry was the car that started reliably on cold mornings, carried kids to school, and quietly built memories mile after mile. Today, these cars represent one of the most intelligent buys in the used market. With careful searching, it is still possible to find clean, well-maintained examples priced under $5,000. Because the 4-cylinder version is less complex than its 6-cylinder sibling, parts remain inexpensive, mechanics know the platform intimately, and repairs are straightforward. For buyers seeking long-lasting value, few vehicles offer as much confidence per dollar as this generation of Camry. As we leave behind Toyota's modest but mighty sedan, our journey now shifts to a machine of an entirely different character. The next car does not whisper reliability in subtle tones. Instead, it roars with authority as the backbone of police fleets, taxi services, and American toughness. If you're enjoying this countdown, hit the like button right now. It shows me you want more, and drop a comment below. Which car would you trust to outlast decades? Your answer could surprise everyone watching. Ford Crown Victoria. Few automobiles have managed to weave themselves into the fabric of American culture as seamlessly as the Ford Crown Victoria. Produced from the year 1998 through the year 2011, this full-size sedan stood as a living monument to strength, simplicity, and durability. For decades, it served not only as family transportation, but also as the backbone of countless police fleets, taxicab companies, and government agencies. The very sight of a Crown Victoria in a rearview mirror could send shivers down the spine of speeding motorists, and the familiar profile became as recognizable as any American landmark. At the heart of the Crown Victoria was the 4.6-liter modular V8 engine, a power plant that favored reliability and ease of service over flashy performance numbers. Paired with a stout 4-speed automatic transmission, the drivetrain was engineered to endure constant idling, sudden acceleration, and the punishing stop-and-go rhythm of urban duty. This was no fragile luxury sedan. It was a machine designed to take abuse and continue rolling, day after day, year after year. Police departments across the nation routinely logged well over 200,000 miles on their Crown Victorias, with some units reaching 300,000 or more before finally being retired. From a design standpoint, the Ford Crown Victoria employed a body-on-frame construction, a technique more commonly associated with trucks than sedans. This gave the car remarkable toughness and made repairs far easier after accidents or heavy use. Taxi operators loved this feature because a damaged Crown Victoria could be repaired quickly and returned to service without extensive costs. The suspension, built for long hours of driving, delivered a ride that was comfortable on highways yet sturdy enough to withstand rough city streets. In many ways, the Crown Victoria was engineered as the last of a dying breed, a true American sedan built with the toughness of a truck and the comfort of a cruiser. Culturally, the Ford Crown Victoria holds a special place in the memories of millions. For some, it was the family car that carried them to school or on vacations. For others, it was the unmistakable shape of a patrol car, a constant presence in neighborhoods and highways. For professional drivers, it represented a dependable livelihood, a vehicle that kept the meter running without fear of breakdown. Even today, enthusiasts celebrate the Crown Victoria not for luxury or speed, but for its sheer indestructibility and straightforward honesty. Financially, the Crown Victoria remains one of the most attainable, long-lasting vehicles on the used market. Well-maintained examples can still be found for under $5,000. Offering buyers a full-size sedan with legendary toughness at a fraction of the price of newer, less reliable models. With a vast supply of replacement parts, widespread mechanical knowledge, and an enthusiast community dedicated to preserving these cars, the Crown Victoria continues to live on well beyond its official production years. As we conclude our exploration of this American icon, we leave behind the flashing lights and the taxicab hustle. The next car takes us across continents to a machine engineered for rugged landscapes far more punishing than city streets. Get ready to discover an SUV that redefined overbuilt durability and still stands tall as one of the most unstoppable vehicles ever created. Toyota Land Cruiser 80 Series. Legends are rarely born overnight, and few vehicles earn the title of legend more convincingly than the Toyota Land Cruiser 80 Series, produced from the year 1990 through the year 1997. This sport utility vehicle was not simply another option in a crowded market. It was a declaration of what durability could mean when engineering was pushed beyond the boundaries of ordinary consumer expectations. Even decades later, the 80 Series Land Cruiser is whispered about in off-road communities, admired by long-distance travelers, and revered by families who relied on it as an indestructible companion. Underneath its squared yet timeless bodywork rested one of the most durable drivetrains ever offered to the public. The heart of the 80 Series was the inline six-cylinder engine, offered in both diesel and gasoline variants depending on the market. In North America, the most common version was the 4.5-liter inline six, known internally as the 1FZ-FE. This engine was overbuilt in every sense of the word, designed to run continuously under conditions that would destroy lesser vehicles. It was mated to transmissions that prioritized strength over complexity, with gearboxes capable of handling heavy loads for years without complaint. Owners across continents have documented Land Cruisers surpassing 300,000, 400,000, and even 500,000 miles without requiring major overhauls. The historical significance of the 80 Series rests in Toyota's original design intentions, as it was built for the Australian mining industry and unforgiving rural environments where vehicles needed to operate 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, often hundreds of miles from repair facilities. No compromises were made. Heavy-duty steel chassis, immensely tolerant axles, and rugged suspension created a virtually unbreakable machine. Beyond engineering, it provided unmatched security, allowing families, travelers, and adventurers to cross deserts or snowy passes with confidence, enduring years of hard use while still starting each morning as if brand new. Financially, these machines remain astonishing values when compared with their reputation. Clean examples can still be found in the used market for under $5,000, particularly if buyers are willing to accept higher mileage. Considering that many continue running well past 250,000 miles, paying such modest sums for proven longevity feels almost like exploiting a secret loophole in the automotive market. As we bring the tale of Toyota's rugged titan to a close, we leave behind dirt trails and mountain passes. The next car on our list does not focus on towering strength, but instead shifts toward simplicity, frugality, and the little sedan that became a global symbol of unkillable reliability. Prepare to meet a compact car that made endurance its calling card. Toyota Corolla. Sometimes greatness hides in plain sight, and no car proves this truth more convincingly than the Toyota Corolla produced from the year 1998 through the year 2002. For generations, the Corolla has been the quiet achiever of the automotive world, never demanding attention, yet consistently delivering extraordinary dependability. This particular era of the Corolla refined the formula to such a degree that even after more than 2 decades, countless examples remain in daily service, a testament to Toyota's relentless pursuit of reliability. At the center of the Corolla's endurance during these years was the 1.8-liter inline 4-cylinder engine, known internally by Toyota engineers as the 1ZZFE. This power plant was designed with an emphasis on longevity rather than raw performance. With its dual overhead camshaft layout, electronic fuel injection, and timing chain rather than timing belt, it was a unit that minimized the need for major intervention. Owners discovered that with routine oil changes and simple fluid services, these Corollas would continue to start instantly every morning, regardless of weather or age. Many vehicles of this generation easily crossed the 200,000-mile threshold, and some examples were documented at 300,000 or more, while still retaining smooth drivability. Historically, the late 1990s and early 2000s marked an important chapter for Toyota, as the Corolla had already become synonymous with practicality, yet the company sought to maintain dominance against Honda, Nissan, and American competitors. The 1998 to 2002 models featured straightforward lines, compact proportions, and intuitive interiors. Families valued the roomy back seat, commuters praised fuel economy, and young drivers appreciated affordability. Emotionally, the Corolla became unforgettable, forgiving for learners, reliable for workers, and cherished across milestones, road trips, and family transitions, its quiet charm enduring as generations passed it down. Financially, The Corolla from this era remains one of the smartest used car purchases available today. Even in an inflated market, it is possible to find examples priced under $5,000, often with complete service histories that confirm careful ownership. Replacement parts remain inexpensive and widely available, and mechanics everywhere are familiar with the platform. The Corolla's simplicity means fewer complex systems to fail, and its proven reputation offers peace of mind that few competitors can match. The number one spot does not belong to subtlety or quiet practicality, but to a machine forged in Germany, built with uncompromising standards, and famous for reaching mileages once thought impossible. Get ready to meet the Mercedes-Benz that transformed the idea of durability into legend. We're almost at the number one spot, and you don't want to miss what's coming. Subscribe right now and tap the bell, because the next video could reveal the one vehicle that changes everything for you. That's our full countdown. 7 cars proving true strength never fades. Each one shows reliability can outlast trends and still deliver value decades later. But don't stop here. Bigger secrets, smarter tips, and the next automotive legends are waiting. Subscribe right now and hit the bell, because the very next video could reveal the one car that changes everything for you. Lexus LS400. Every great countdown deserves to begin with a surprise. And what better way to start than with a car that redefined luxury by combining durability with unmatched comfort. The Lexus LS400, produced from the year 1995 through the year 1997, stands as one of the clearest examples of how engineering excellence can create a vehicle that still feels new decades later. Unlike many luxury cars that crumble under their own complexity, this Lexus proved that refinement and reliability could coexist without compromise. The story of the LS400 begins with Toyota's bold decision in the late 1980s to launch its own luxury brand. Determined to challenge Mercedes-Benz and BMW on the global stage, Toyota invested over $1 billion to develop the LS400, a sedan that could compete with the finest European offerings while also establishing a reputation for longevity. By the mid-1990s, the results were undeniable. The second-generation LS400 delivered elegance, smoothness, and reliability in a package that outlasted its rivals. At its core, the LS400 housed the legendary 1UZ FE 4.0-liter V8 engine, tested for over 1.5 million miles before production. This motor became famous for its balance and strength. Owners demonstrated its refinement with the classic coin trick, placing a quarter on its edge while the engine idled smoothly enough to keep it standing. Paired with a meticulously engineered transmission and robust chassis, the LS400 offered both serenity and staying power. Inside, the LS400 embodied quiet luxury. Real wood trim, supple leather, and intuitive controls made the cabin feel timeless. Even after 20 years, many examples retain interiors that look and function like new. Climate systems blow cold, power seats move effortlessly, and dashboards resist fading. For drivers, it felt less like a car and more like a sanctuary, one built with craftsmanship meant to last. Beyond comfort, the LS400 also carried cultural significance. In North America, it became the understated executive sedan for those who valued substance over flash. In Asia, it served as proof that Japan could surpass European benchmarks. Owners often speak about passing their LS400 down to family members, confident that it would remain reliable for years to come. Few luxury sedans have created such a blend of prestige and trust. What makes this car even more compelling today is its affordability. Despite offering engineering worth tens of thousands when new, these models can now be found in the used market for under $5,000. Parts remain accessible, independent mechanics know the platform well, and enthusiasts maintain strong communities dedicated to preserving them. It is a rare opportunity. True luxury at a price within reach. And there it is. The full countdown of cars that prove true value isn't measured in new car smell or sky-high payments, but in longevity, trust, and stories that last decades. Each vehicle on this list has shown that durability outshines hype, and smart buyers always win. But this journey doesn't end here. More hidden gems, untold automotive secrets, and life-changing discoveries are waiting. Don't miss them. Subscribe right now, hit that notification bell, and join a community that refuses to settle for overpriced promises. Together, we'll uncover the machines that actually stand the test of time.